Hello. So I wanted to address some of the changes that have been made since I decided to switch myself over to a quote unquote public figure profile or page actually instead of just the profile that I had before. One of the main reasons why I decided to do that is because they give page administrators a lot more control over different things and a lot more resources for tracking and things like that. I can't say that I'm entirely happy with it because it's eliminated some of the things that I really enjoy on Facebook, but I'm not viewing that necessarily as a bad thing at this point because it's kind of like weaning yourself off of an addiction. I had gotten to the point where, yeah, it was really great to be doing all the Facebook fielding and going ahead and sharing all of the things that I find when I'm basically doing what they call there's an actual entire site for it. It's anyways, I can't think of the name of it, but it's pretty much what I do, where just randomly clicking on different things that I find and kind of like going down these little miniature rabbit holes, like, oh, I just saw something cool, I'm gonna go check that out. And it's kind of like a crow running after shiny little things and collecting them all together. And in any case, it ends up being really time consuming. So I decided to go ahead and kind of try to backtrack myself on some of that because I have a goal by the end of this year that I've had a lot of false starts on for a long time, that I would really like to get myself to the point where I'm doing mostly at home work or just being able to stay at home, period. Um, you're working 45 to 60 hours a week or more and going without days off, like I did most of last year, you just end up with your nose to the grindstone and you can't really look up and think about doing any of that. And I mean, I had actually gotten to the point where I was overworking myself to the point where I let a lot of things go that I should not have. And I've completely turned over a new leaf as of the beginning of this year because last year I ended up really paying badly for some really bad habits that I'd fallen into. And the excuse was always, oh, I'm working so much, which when you're what I'm dealing with is kind of like MS, but I haven't had an official diagnosis. I think it's probably going to come down that it's like intermittent remission or something, because I just have so many problems with energy, and so I have like this big jar that I start out the month with, and then you split it up by the week, and then by the day, and then by the hour, and the more that I put into work, even though it's a really great job and it's mostly sedentary, it still ends up taking a lot out of me. So I ended up finding that, okay, all these other things have to be sacrificed. It's all a matter of, okay, what's priority and what's important. And when I was placing all of that into work, I just literally could not keep up with my life. So I cut down to 32 hours a week, which is really financially kind of straining, but it's enough that I can actually make do and get by. I may end up going ahead and getting like one of those seasonal part-time temporary positions or something where I work on my days off for a little while, maybe a month or two, in order to pour a bunch of money into fixing my car. And it's always, it always goes that way. You save up money and then it ends up going to some, like the car instead of, what you were saving up for. But anyway, story of my life. So I'm kind of at a point right now where by having 3 days off a week and cutting down to 32 hours, I feel like a human being at the end of the week instead of like I got ran over. So that has really helped me to be able to focus a little bit more on building up the diversified avenues that I can use in order to go ahead and put together something where I'm working from home more and more. So that's where I'm at right now. Getting back to the fielding thing, I really enjoy it a lot. I've just decided to control it more and cut it way back and invest more time into things like blogging, which I know some of you really, really wanted me to be doing more of, and also getting into the writing. Of course, the writing situation can be kind of difficult because you can't force it. At least I can't. It kind of has to be inspirational, so it's almost like meditation. I decided to sit down and, okay, I'm going to start thinking about, doing this writing. And what I found is that unlike meditation, which I can always get into, sometimes it's just not there, and I'm too tired or distracted or whatever. I can't really get into that world. So I don't try to push it, I don't try to force it. I never write about anything that isn't inspired from the inside out, because it just never works. It always ends up coming out showing that it's not coming from the heart. So when I'm actually able to get into that groove, it just flows so easily. And probably the only downside that I can see is how deeply I can immerse myself into the writing, to the point where I can end up, looking like uh, Joan Wilder in Romancing the Stone, where she's walking around the entire apartment and there's no toilet paper, tissues, or paper towels anywhere, and there's post-it notes everywhere reminding herself that she needs to go and buy those because she's been so immersed in writing her book that she's pretty much checked out of life. So yeah, that is something I definitely have to worry about, but it's fun at the same time. So, anyways, I just wanted to explain a little bit more about why I'm doing things the way that I am now. I am going to try to do at least one post a week that is strictly centered on the vlogging or the writing or whatever. If I can get more than that in, I will be really happy. Anyways, I've made this a little bit too long. I don't even know if YouTube's going to let me upload it. But I just wanted to kind of explain all of that and kind of explain, where I'm at right now. So I'm really excited about what the potentials are for the rest of this year. So I'm glad for everybody that's along for the ride. So I guess I will just keep talking to you guys and keep trying to write for you guys and just try to push back all the stuff in life that keeps trying to interfere with the artist in me. All right, talk to you later.